CBW is the call sign of the CBC Radio One station in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. The station broadcasts at AM 990, and this station functions as a Class A clear channel station under former North American Radio Broadcasting Agreement allocations. Due to the station's transmitter power and Manitoba's mostly flat land, it reaches almost all of southern Manitoba during the day and much of the middle portion of North America at night. History. The station first aired in 1923 as CKY, owned and operated by the Manitoba Telephone System. It became a partial affiliate of the Canadian Radio Broadcasting Commission in 1933, and was purchased outright by the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation in 1948. The station adopted its current call sign a few months after the CBC purchase, and the CKY call sign was reassigned to a new commercial radio station. It was part of the Trans-Canada Network, which was the main CBC radio network, while CKRC carried programming from the Dominion Network between January 1, 1944 and 1962. The transmitter was originally located in Carman, Manitoba. On February 3, 1952, a small plane with 3 passengers struck the Carman Tower, due to heavy fog. None of the passengers survived. In November 1964, CBC opened a centralized antenna, and transferred the CBW signal to Starbuck, Manitoba. On October 15, 1993, CBW began broadcasting from a transmitter site in Springsteen, Manitoba, while the 98.3 fathom signal remained at the Starbuck Tower. CBW moved from the third floor of the telephone building on Portage Avenue East to their current location at 541 Portage Avenue, activating their new equipment on July 5, 1953, and officially opening on September 25, 1953. Over the next week the station held open house tours of the station. The building cost $1 million to construct and was state-of-the-art at the time. Today, CBW shares the same location with CBW-FM and CBW-T. On March 16, 2006, the Canadian Radio, Television and Telecommunications Commission approved an application by the station to implement a new FM transmitter in Winnipeg itself to simulcast the AM programming due to poor AM coverage in parts of the city. CBW-1 Fathom 89.3 operates from a transmitter atop the Richardson Building. Its effective radiated power is 2,800 watts. The main CBW transmitter site is west of Winnipeg, south of White Plains, Manitoba on Highway 424. The call sign CBW was previously used by the CBC radio station in Windsor, Ontario in 1937-38 until it was shut down. Local programming. CBW's local programs are information radio in the mornings, radio noon and up to speed in the afternoons. The weekend mornings show runs on Saturdays and Sundays, and the arts and culture show Manitoba Scene at 5 p.m. on Saturdays in addition to North Country programming weekdays at 7:30 a.m. and 12 p.m. Central Time. CBW-KFM Thompson and its rebroadcasters also air programming from the CBC Manitoba studio in Winnipeg. Rebroadcasters. CBW has the following rebroadcasters: CBW-1 Fathom, Winnipeg, 89.3, CBW-VFM, Brandon, 97.9, CBW-WFM, Dauphin Baldy Mountain, 105.3, CBW-XFM, Fisher Branch, 95.7, and its rebroadcasters: CBW-AFM, Manigatgan, 101.3, CBW-YFM, Jackhead, 92.7, and its rebroadcaster, CBW-ZFM, Fairford, 104.3. Current CBW personalities: Terry McLeod, host Weekend Morning Show; Marcy Marcusa, host Information Radio; Marilyn Markey, host Radio Noon; Ismaila Alpha, host Up to Speed; Heather Wells, news anchor weekday mornings; Julie Dupre, news anchor weekday afternoons; Sarah Penton, news anchor; Karen Pauls, national reporter; Meagan Ketchison, reporter; Leslie McLaren, reporter; Sean Kavanagh, reporter; Susan Maggers, reporter; Megan Benedictson, Reporter, Marianne Klowak, reporter. Former CBW personalities, Donald Benham, hosted Questionnaire in the, Garth Dawley, co-hosted Information Radio, Eric Friesen, co-hosted Radio Noon, Up to Now, Leslie Hughes, co-hosted Information Radio, Tom McCulloch, Information Radio News anchor, Doug McIlraith, co-hosted Radio Noon, Gren Mauch, co-hosted Up to Now, Agatha Noir, Information Radio fill-in host Weekend Morning Show, Lionel Moore, co-hosted Radio Noon, Maureen Pendergast, co-hosted Information Radio, Jim Ray, co-hosted Radio Noon, Kira Currency N. Sanders, host The Weekend Morning Show, Jack Turnbull, Information Radio News anchor, Bob Wilson, co-hosted 1950 flood coverage. Roger Curry, Peter Duck moved to Windsor. CRTC licensing, CRTC decision 1999-515, new multi-channel antenna serving Brandon, Manitoba, CRTC decision 2006-84 Fathom rebroadcast transmitters. See also, CBW-FM, CBW-TDT. References, Spring 2013 BBM Canada Survey, Small Plane hits CBW Tower in Carman, Manitoba. Winnipeg Free Press. February 4, 1952. Pages 1. New CBC Nerve Centre springs to life Sunday. Winnipeg Free Press. July 1, 1953. Pages 3. Official opening CBC building. Winnipeg Free Press. September 24, 1953. Pages 14. External links, CBC Manitoba, CBWAM History, Canadian Communications Foundation, query the REC's Canadian Station Database for CBW, radio locator information on CBW.